welcome back. Honestly, I'm so tired, but I've done this thing now twice, and I've pretty much become a master at dropping this oil pan. I just did it in like pretty much 30 minutes. So I'm gonna run you through what the first time took me a while because it's so hard to know what I have to do. So let's get under the car here. So first things first here, the first thing I do is you got to take this heat shield off. You see right here, this will go right up on the flywheel. You're gonna have bolts here, here, if you get the light over that bolt spot right there. And then there's another one right up there. They're all 10 millimeters, real easy. Pop that off. It's gonna be super easy, comes right off, boom. Next thing I did, I went over to the alternator here. I mean the starter. Whoa, alternator. What am I thinking? Our starter here, pretty simple and easy. You don't have to remove the whole thing. I watched tons of videos. I remember hearing someone say you don't have to take it out. And I found out, you don't. So you just have to take out these two bolts. You got one big one here. I'm trying to remember the size, but I'm blanking. But it's just real simple. You can figure out the size pretty quickly. There's a bolt right here, and then there's a bolt right there. There's a shorter one that I have right here. Once you pull that off, you're able to move it so that you're able to get these bolts right there. Before I started getting around the oil pan, though, my next thing was you're gonna have to remove these like crossbars here. So let's see here. They pretty much hang up here and then hang up. There's bolts on this side. So pretty much I just got my impact. Let's see here what this is. I think it's an 18 millimeter. Yeah, 18 millimeter. And undid these two. And then you come over to here. Where are these bolts? I think these are 13, I'm pretty sure. I could probably check. Is this a 13? Yeah, this is 13 right here. Let's check. Oh, yeah, made it in my 13. So those are 13. You just have to unscrew them. There's no bolt on the other side. I accidentally checked by trying to take this off and seeing if I could, but nope, just got to take these out. And then before you fully drop it, maybe before you pull these out, I would say there's this little 7 millimeter screw clamp. If you can get a light up here. There's this screw that goes in here that connects right on the bar. You see that little hole? This screw will go right in there and it connects this clamp. I just recommend doing it because when you take off those two bolts, then this thing just hangs there. So you just remove that and then it's very simple. And then that whole thing drops and then you just kind of repeat on the same side. Those two bolts, two nuts. And then you've got, it's real cramped in here. These two bolts that are, bolts. You pull those out, same thing. You also got a clamp thing right here. Just take out that 7 millimeter. Things to note, I have jack stands. I moved them. I originally had them like right up there along that part. Moved them up here because I didn't know what this cross-section bar was going to do. I was a little concerned this car might drop on me. And in case I had this jack just as a backup, it's just there for emergency. And then I also had tires on the side just in case if this thing drops, precaution. So then next thing you know, I took out, there's these, here, if you look right behind here, these, I think they're 10 millimeters. Just pull them out. They're on both sides here. Another one. This helps with moving this whole line down to let your oil pan drop. And these crossbars give you enough room where this oil pan can just easily slide out. So that can all come out. So that's all out. Next thing we're gonna move on to is honestly just kind of removing all these bolts. Thing to do is definitely gonna have to unplug this hose right this line. A lot of coolant's gonna come out, forewarning. You're gonna lose a lot of coolant. A lot's gonna pour out. Get something to catch it all before you undo it. But main thing is just taking these bolts. So we can see this, I haven't taken this out yet. It's a 13 millimeter. I need a 13 millimeter deep socket. Then it goes 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. And then we have our bracket here. Let me see if I could, pretty sure the bracket's right out here. I think this is like the knock sensor, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I need a better light. Let's see if we can get something on here. Ooh, perfect lighting. This is just gonna pretty much be right here, and you're gonna have, this is gonna be first 11 millimeter nut. You remove that, and then it's a 10 millimeter nut that you pull the stud out with. Oh, that's, all right here. So we have a 11 on top and then a 10 on bottom. So the 10, it goes up this way and it holds that plate in place. So you just take that plate out. So it goes 11, then 10. It's for like 11 nut and then 10. And then you go on your next, you got 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. And then in the back here, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a good view. You've got this clamp. And so now you have a 13 millimeter nut. You take that off. You get like an angle like around. Oh, I'm trying to see if I can get it. There's like you find this sweet spot of seeing it. So if this piping wants to move out of the way. It's very hard to see, but you can kind of see it here. It's hard to get this on camera, but you're gonna remove a 13 millimeter nut, pull that clamp down, and then there's another 13 to get the stud out. And that's pretty simple. Then we go over to the other side here. We're gonna have that 13 millimeter nut there, 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. I think, from my guess, there's a little clamp here for your like oxygen sensor for your exhaust. Clamp spot right there. I'm pretty sure that's another like 11 nut and then a 10 nut. Where is that? I have it like here. Put that in the light. The clamp here. I think. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it goes there. I did not record this beforehand. So, and then another 10 millimeter. And then we have another stud. As you can see, don't do what I did here. This is why I have to take the oil pan down again. Is I accidentally snapped my stud in there. Because I was like, oh, is this tight enough? And I was like, it's kind of still spinning though. And so then I kind of continued cranking and then snap. It fucking snapped off. And now I have to fucking deal with that with redoing this whole thing again. But thankfully it only takes me like 30 minutes to do it now because it's so easy for me. But this clamp's supposed to go there and hold this up so you don't have a wiggling thing. Oh shoot, I'm right under the strip thing. Then it goes 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter, and then you just have an easy 13 millimeter bolt that comes straight out. From there, this thing should be able to just drop, no problem, unless, you know, moving the crank around to help move, there's a weight right here that can block it. If you move it up, it makes it so much easier just to pull the oil pan down and out. Trying to think what else to tell. Putting the gasket on, I do recommend if you're gonna buy a gasket, they come with these, some of them come with like a little kit where you can put things in the holes to help keep the gasket up. 100% recommend that. I did not do that. It was a pain in my this thing up. Plus I was by myself. It was like 2 in the morning. I'm trying to get this thing up. I somehow clicked it in perfectly. I had like my arms were dying. I was using my head to hold it up, and then I got a mini jack right there that I used. I used that to like hold it up while I put in the bolts, because then you got this whole this metal thing that goes around it that drops out. You have to line up and then put the bolts in with lining up. But that's pretty much how you drop it, and then you just do the kind of the reverse for putting it back together. But I hope this helps someone, because I spent hours trying to figure out how to drop this thing. It was just one thing after another. I thought I could just, undo the starter and stuff. I never thought about having to take these cross beams out, and now I do, and it makes it honestly so much easier. And once I know how to do it, it's just so much simpler. Let's see, anything else I need to cover? Pretty sure that covers it all. For anyone that's doing a Corvette oil pan by yourself without any help. I've seen tons of videos with them dropping the transmission. Like they had or they have a different transmission than me and they can just pull it straight out. Which is not like mine. Mine's automatic. quite different challenge, but honestly kind of fun once you figure it out. Hope that helps out. Leave a like, leave comments if there's other things, any tips and tricks, and that would be sweet.